Hi! Within this section, we're going to deal with the databases that are buried in our Metasploitable machine, and in this lecture, we're going to see how to use the SQL commands that we have learned in the previous section to find out the contents of the Metasploitable database. So I'm running my Metasploitable machine on the same NAT network as my Kali Linux machine. So this is my default setup. So if you go to your Firefox and if you type the IP address of your Metasploitable machine, then you can reach the dashboard of the Metasploitable too, as we have seen in the previous lectures. And we're going to work with this, and we're going to see how to inject some SQL codes into the Metalidae, okay, in the Metasploitable machine. But before we do that, I'm just going to show you the database content of the Metalidae and Metasploitable machine by exploiting a vulnerability in the Metasploitable machine. So all we have to do is run a mysql command. And after that, we will have to specify the username, which is root, and the IP of the Metasploitable machine, which is 10.025. So generally, this will ask for a password. And in this case, Metasploitable machine doesn't have a password for its own database, and this is clearly a vulnerability, and you won't see that kind of vulnerability in the real life examples, and we are doing this just for an example, okay? Just to see that these databases actually exist in the Metasploitable machine. And later on, we're going to see how to exploit MySQL injections as well. So after you run this command, it will take you to a session which connects to MySQL. If you type show databases and with a semicolon, of course, and hit enter, you will get the list of the current databases. You will see this information schema database, and this is a default database which contains general information about the databases. And we have other ones as well. So we have MySQL, we have OWASP 10, we have TikiWiki, and others. So we're going to see the contents of these databases. So first, I'm going to choose MySQL, and you have to type use MySQL with a semicolon and hit enter. Then it will go into the MySQL database. If you type show tables, you can see the tables. And remember, databases are like Excel sheets and Excel tables, and these tables are actually the sheets. So you can choose one in here and see the contents. So let's select everything from one of the tables in this list. For example, you can see for func, you can see for user or tables preview, time zone, it doesn't matter. Let me choose user. And I forgot to add a semicolon at the end. Let me edit and once again hit enter, okay, with a semicolon. And as you can see, I got the results from the user tables. It's a little bit complicated, but I can see the columns and I can see the values in here actually. So now I have the contents of this database. And this is a little bit complicated, as I said before, so I'm going to exit out of this one and run my SQL command one more time to go into the other databases and other tables. So I'm going to say show databases one more time with a semicolon, and then let me use OWASP 10 for instance, okay? And in here I'm going to say show tables, and as you can see I have a credit cards table. I'm going to say select everything from credit cards, and I forgot to add semicolon one more time, so let me run this properly. And as you can see, we got the information about some dummy credit card values in here. So I got the expiration date, CCV, credit card number, and the IDs as well. So this is a very clear vulnerability, and you don't see that in real life example, as I said before, but you can come across with general MySQL injection vulnerabilities. Thus, we're going to stop here, and within the following lectures, we're going to see how to get this information with using SQL injection techniques.